potential energy. First, we're going to start just by doing things that are really cool. Because one of the things I want to talk to you about with electricity is electrical safety. I cannot say loudly enough. I cannot say strongly enough. I cannot put down my great big foot hard enough to say, do not try any of this at home. You do not have the training. You do not have the equipment. What you will have is 911 on speed dial. Electricity is not to be feared, but it is to be respected. If you play with electricity, it can kill you. And it will hurt the entire time you are dying. So, it's not to be played with. I have an assistant over here. His name is Shock. So we are Shock and Awful. That's funny, laugh at that. Sorry, it does not get any better than that. The jokes are awful. Thank you. Well, we are going to start with hand signals. So you know what you need to do because there is some participation here. The first hand signal will be this. When you see this, you should go, ooh. So everybody. Ooh. This is an audience or an oil painting. Come on. Ooh. Much better. When I do this, you go, ah. Ah. What are jazz hands? When I do this, you say science. Science. A little better. Science. And when I do this is silence. Because sometimes I need quiet.
Dr. Awful, I know some hand signals. Can I share
No, I know your hand signals. No, nothing like that. He was a football referee. Too many kicks to the head. When we talk about energy, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. Almost all of the energy we use all of the time comes from the sun. There are some exceptions. Nuclear energy comes from inside of the atom, which forms inside of dying stars. But even hydroelectric dams have rain that comes down. How does the rain get up to start with? The sun heats it up, raises it. Then as the water flows and makes the generators go, you're taking that sun energy, which is stored in the clouds, and turning it into electricity. It is always being converted. Sometimes we can take chemical energy, which is sun energy, stored in a chemical, and release it. If you are jumpy, be prepared. Something very important whenever you do any experiment where something may be moving. Well, if you do an experiment where you don't protect your eyes, it is a mistake you can make only twice. We're also going to teach you little counting. We're going to teach you to count in Russian. We have 3 numbers we're going to do. The first one is on. For 2, we say dva. And for 3, we say dva. Okay. This one also makes me jump. So we have a chemical. I will not tell you what the chemical is because you are not to try this at home. It is a chemical that can burn. We're going to release the chemical energy that is stored in it. We have molecules that are bound together. And when we break those molecules apart, they release lots of energy. So I am going to need the lights taken care of. You can figure out light switches, can you not? Well, leave on the back one. All the rest of them are off. Other way. Getting there. Getting there. Okay. Yes! Lights on, please.
Dr. Hoffman makes a lot of baby cry.
Do it again!
No, we're going to do one at a time. Now, what we did is we already, from that chemical energy, we got light, we got heat. This is very, very warm. And we got sound. Now where did that energy go? It was absorbed by the walls, the floor, your eyes, your brains. It's all still there. You can't retrieve it. If you want to retrieve it, let me know. You will become very, very, very rich. Imagine walking into a room, being able to put something on the wall and hear every conversation that ever took place in there. Very cool. But it is now vibrational energy in the air and in the walls. Now this is a chemical energy. Now we're going to talk about a means of storing energy. We have here 2 ordinary agribusiness pumpkins. Which of these has more energy? Now, more Russian words can learn to say yes. To say yes, you say da, da. To say no, you say niet.
Yes.
So I'm going to put my hand over the pumpkin. If you think it has more energy, you say da.
Everybody say da.
Actually, right now they have pretty much the same energy. This has slightly more energy because this could be pushed off the table and impact on the floor, and energy transfer on the floor. Because this one is slightly larger, it will transfer more energy. But we can give this more energy. For this, I need Shock to come over.
Are you gonna blow anything up again? Do I need my safety goggles?
He's got the safety goggles. Take them off for the time being. You may want them in a moment. I'm going to have him take one of the pumpkins. Take the small pumpkin. Yeah, take a pumpkin. Which pumpkin do you think he should take? He's good. He wants to take this one. Da, niet. It's a very cute pumpkin. It's a very nice little pumpkin. The niet? No, they want another one. It's a da, niet. How about this one? Da. I'm going to save this one for later.
I'll see you later, I guess.
Okay. Well, you need to take that pumpkin over here. And you need to get on the lift with it.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to give you here.
I'll give you 3.
Can I have it first?
No, yet.
Pumpkin in here is all I got to do.
Now get him with it.
I don't think I'll fit.
Will it? Do you think you'll fit? Da. Come on, you will fit.
Maybe if I put it up there. It is a piece of candy we're talking about.
Yes, we'll.
I can
You're getting there, you're getting close. Okay, now,
This is kind of like
he has
a
added a little bit of potential energy because he has raised it up. No, thank you, don't need it yet. We can give it more energy by raising the lift. Well, welcome to my world. We are going to have him raise the lift. On the side of the lift, there is a switch. Press it upward.
But if I do that, it'll go up. I saw a man do that one time. Way on up. I'm a little afraid.
Tell him he needs to do it. If you want him to do it. Come on.
Piece of candy for this.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Now, it has potential energy. That energy is dusty up here. Yes, I know. And where's your vacuum cleaner? You took it away. It won't work up here. No. I don't think the cord is long enough. Okay, the pumpkin now has a lot of potential energy, but now it needs to give it the energy of motion, kinetic energy, which means it has to move. take the pumpkin. Yes. Oh. Smash.
Long way down.
Well, the pumpkin is going to take the quick route. I need you to drop the pumpkin right about here. No, not now. When we give you a count. By the way, we are all using backup systems. Everybody back up. Although if you like your shoes, you may wish to lift your feet a little.
Count down.
We're going to count up. We're going to do the on, va, and then you drop.
These are one of my good shoes.
Okay, he wants to count down from 78.
77.
So we're going to do it on, va. So here we go. On, va, twa.
I'm afraid to let go of these handles.
You can use one hand.
You want me to drop the pumpkin there?
Here, right
No,
here.
on me.
No.
Give it to me.
You will learn very bad things about kinetic energy if that
If I
hits
close
you.
my eyes and just throw it, I'll be safe.
No, this is not a good idea.
Okay. Ready?
Okay, let's try it again.
One,
Va, twa. Please stay in your seat. Do not come down. Leave the pumpkin there.
What am I on?
Okay. Now, as you can imagine, Shock does not want to take the quick way down. So,
I don't.
the little switch, boy, you made a big mess of that. The switch that you use, push it down, and it will go down. The other down. The other down. There, the other down. So if he goes any further up, the construction will have more to do. They will be fixing the roof. Well, we'll do this again later. But I am good to my word.
Can I do it next time?
You got it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's get the shot. After the shot. After the shot. Боже мой, what a mess. Be very careful. In fact, when you leave, please go out that way so you're not walking over pumpkin seeds. So now we've seen a different kind of energy. We've seen potential energy become kinetic energy. But that's not really useful to us. So we may need another kind of energy. We're going to talk about electrical energy. Now when you talk about electrical energy, you talk about voltage and current. Voltage is how much electricity there is because electrons moving. How much is there? Current is how much is moving. In a lot of cases, you can have a lot of voltage, very little current. For example, this will generate 20 to 40,000 volts. Let me get the little. Let's get something that will really let it. Am I dead? No. Yet.
You're crazy.
This is more interesting. Let's look a little bit now. That's like a little lightning storm. Now, I need a volunteer. Hold on, before you get up, put your hands up or anything. Hands up for a moment. I need. My volunteer has to have some very specific features that I'm looking for. First of all, probably better to have a girl. Not yet. The girl must have long hair that is loose. Not tied up in what we have a little girl with long hair. You want to try? Are you brave? All right, come up. We have a brave person here. Nice long hair. It's going to be really good. First of all, I promise you, you can concentrate on this. You look at the shotgun off the carpet that Please put the pumpkin back on the floor. This is not for playing with. Get your message. Okay, and Lily? So ladies and gentlemen, I want a big round of applause for my assistant Lily. You need some help? Mom? Good, my throat was getting dry. Outstanding. Now Lily, I need you to step very carefully to the top here. I need you to put your hand on the structure. It's not hurt at all. Do not move your hand until I instruct you to do so. If you do, you saw that big shock that went in my wrist? You will get the same kind. It will not kill you, but it's going to hurt like that. It stings. Oh. Now, she has 20,000 volts. Now, part of the reason electricity moves is because the electrons move away from each other. They repel each other. They try to cover as large an area as possible. Now, shake your hand. No, really shake. Shake your hand. Keep shaking. Keep shaking. You know, okay. This happens. Anybody notice anything a little unusual about Lily? She has a somewhat unusual hairstyle at this moment. It's because there are lots of electrons coursing through her hair, all trying to move away from each other. Now, Lily, I'm going to turn this off. Please, again, keep your hand on it. Make it a little lightning shock at the end. Please keep your hand on it. Keep your, I tell you to move it. But you got lucky. Thank you very much. You may take your seat again, and thank you very much. A lot of electrons here. These electrons move.
Bag.
Even though very small current, so little current, it cannot hurt. Current can hurt. Now, another thing with electricity is insulation. Insulation is a material that will keep the electrons from flowing from one place to another. For example, on the outside of wire, we have plastic. That plastic is to keep the electricity from getting into you. Something else that works very good as an insulator is air. But air is not the best insulator. For that, I'm already picked my volunteer. He is right there. On the ground here. Watch your step. And tell the audience your name, please. Chase. This is Chase. Bring your big hand to Chase. Now, Chase, do you have any wires on you? Are you plugged into any house current at the moment? Do you have batteries in your pocket? Please hold this, by the way. This has no extra wires or batteries or anything. This is an ordinary fluorescent light. Now what I need you to do is hold this about that far. A little farther. There we go. Well, maybe a little closer. You just give me room so my hand can get through. No, put it up. There. The wires are touching. But what we are going to do is show that if you get enough voltage, this is 40,000 volts. It will break down the insulating quality of the air. By the way, do you feel any discomfort? Do you feel any discomfort? No, I would not get shakes. Now, I'm going to add an insulator. Now, I am not a good insulator. If electricity actually touches me, I am quite a good conductor. Better laugh it up. It gets no better than that. Thank you, Chase. Thank you very much. So we talked about voltage. We talked about current. Let's give us a look to give us a more practical idea what it is really like. First of all, we're going to have our volunteer. His name? is Egbert. Now imagine that this, instead of being yellow cornmeal, is electrons. We've got a whole lot of them. A lot of voltage. So imagine we've got 30,000 volts, but very little current. And Egbert is just standing, getting a little carpet shock, but he is not sad. But then he has the sudden realization, oh no, I'm in a Dr. Awful program. And Dr. Awful is going to do lightning. We're going to really have all the current reach Egbert at once. Can I get the count? Normally you don't get the count of lightning. Here you do. Ba, ba. That is one lucky egg he's happy again.
Silence.
Try it again. On. Dva. Dva.
He was a good egg.
We shall give him a proper send-off. Ooh. Good. So it is not the voltage. So if you see a sign that says high voltage, still keep away because it probably does have high current. It's current that can kill you. Now, we're going to sort of finish things up by talking about electrical safety. I can talk about it, I can show you all these demonstrations, but unless I show you what really can happen, what volunteer do I have to be completely electrocuted to death? Are you insane, child? I'll tell you what are people made of? We are made of flesh. We have a lot of water in us, that is salt water, which conducts electricity very well, and then a bunch of stuff we don't talk about. Well, let's see, what else can we find that is made of flesh, has salt water in it, and has a lot of stuff we don't talk about?
Weenie!
By the way, if you know what is going to happen, please do not tell everybody else. That is called a spoiler. That is called a spoiler. And if you do it, I will come over on Christmas morning and I will open your Christmas presents. And I'll take home the ones I like. So no spoiling the surprises if you know what's going to happen. We are going to put this hot dog on Dr. Awful's miniature electric chair of doom. I don't have two hands. It is not currently plugged in because I believe. Okay, switch is off. Now this does take some time. I cannot tell you how long it is going to take. I tend to stay back from it, but electricity, the same kind of house current you have in your house is currently going through that hot dog. And it is undergoing a change because you see it does not flow through the hot dog perfectly efficiently. It puts up resistance. Resistance builds up heat. And that heat can be in you if you were to do this. Okay, silence. Oh, you may notice that hot dog is starting to change shape. It's hot dog, it's not me. Now, suppose instead of a hot dog, that is your hand or your heart. Do not play with electricity. However, simply because I enjoy doing this, we're going to finish up one final experiment. By the way, I am doing this this is now thoroughly cooked.
Very hard.
So what we are going to do is we're going to put something else on here. Now this is not like a person.
A pickle.
And again, I cannot overemphasize, don't try any of this at home. It will cause you problems.
Let's see the pickle explode.
What did I say about spoilers? Let's see Christmas morning.
Coming to Christmas.
Actually, it will probably do something you are not at all expecting. Again, I don't know how long this will take, but this is a little better in.
This is how you know it's good. Turn it all off. Turn it all off.
By the way, if you do not like unpleasant smells, it is my recommendation you make sure to plug your nose at this time, because sparking pickles are really stinky. This is also not a recommended source of lighting in your home. Not very efficient. What was the point of this? This is fun. Now we're going to do one final experiment with energy. For this, and you'll notice the juice comes out, it blackens, it is cooked right inside. This last one, we're going to do some energy making sound. Some people like to make sound. Get all the lights on. Wait, completely messed up on that. So I need everybody to stand up on your feet. Everybody on your feet.
I can smell the pickle.
Okay. Now what I'm going to have you do is you're going to hold your hands out like this. And when I do this, every time my hands pass, I need you to bring your hands together. Make a lot of noise. Not yet. When you're ready. I will be signing autographed pictures in the lobby. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your visit with Schiele-O-Ween.